Hi. Hello. Thank you for coming on. This is not scheduled. I just wanted to. Hi. Hi, Brianna. Brianna? May. Patrona. Hi. I just want to keep everybody updated. We finally got the indictment from the prosecutor. This is in regards to Suga's case. Hi, Katrina. I will share with you the article. But to be the easy translation is that they're recommending a fine. The prosecutors are recommending a fine, but it will be up to either the court or the parties involved if they want to have a formal trial. However, since there are no parties involved, then there's not who's the only the court can actually decide to do an actual hearing, like to have a to actually sue him for something. No, it's not bad. So just to recap, I'll share with you the article so that you can see it. 1 second. Okay, give it several seconds. You should see it after several seconds. Do you see it now? Do you see the article? Hi, Ophelia. Okay, perfect. So the most important part is that it's a summary indictment decision. So they are just imposing a fine on him, um, and then they will forward it to the court. And if the court does not decide to actually go through with the trial, then that is final. So that is the summary. If the court does not decide to pursue the case, then it's final. Um, so yeah. So I guess we're very close to this being over. Yeah, finally, we're very close to this being over. I hope the court is reasonable. They don't decide to pursue a case because he didn't harm anybody. Um, so yeah, I well, it's sugar is popular, so not even it's a fine. It's a fine. They did not disclose the fine. Can it be simplified more? So the prosecutor, so when there is a case that is handled, but when it's a criminal case, it's actually the people of the country, right? Like for example, people of the Philippines or people of the United States of America against a certain person. Since drunk driving is considered a criminal case in their country, well, it is a criminal case here as well in the US, then it's actually forward after the investigation of the police. The case is forwarded to the prosecutor's office, which is the lawyer of the government. He investigates and then he recommends what he's going to be what should be done. So either should there be a fine or should there be a case or whatever. So what the prosecutor recommended is that he be given a fine, so that he just needs to pay. And I guess they really are suspending his license. I don't know for how long. And then he so once he recommended that one he once he comes up with a recommendation, he forwards it to the judge, and then the judge is going to decide, okay, this is just make him pay a fine, or okay, let's go to trial. Hi from Korea. So but since what are you going to go to trial for? Nobody was harmed. He did not damage any property, so there shouldn't be any case. So I hope the judge is actually reasonable. And that's the summary basically. Let me see. Um, yeah, so that's, I hope it's all over. So at least he came out. He published. They published. They came out with a recommendation, and now we're just waiting for the court to say what. I mean, what is there to? What is he going to be on trial for? He didn't damage any property. He didn't harm anybody. He didn't even harm himself. So, hi, Poland. It has taken so long through. Yeah, it has taken so long, but at least we're very very close to the end, so I hope it's just a fine, and I'm sure he can pay whatever, how much. If he doesn't have money, I'm sure army is going to but he has money, I'm sure. After all the commotion noise, it's still a fine. What a waste of time, resource, and unnecessary backlash. True. Right. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, let me just do this. I will look for the other article. Okay, let me see if I can find the other article. The original one that I posted. Do you have questions you want me to answer? Oh, here. All right, I'll share this with you. Oh, do you see it? So a summary indictment is a prosecutor procedure in which the prosecution requests the court to impose a fine or penalty based on a written examination when the charge is deemed relatively light, instead of referring the case to a formal trial. The prosecution did not disclose the specific amount of fine. So that's what a summary indictment is. Suspending his, I know it's silly. When I first heard about it, I swear to God, my first reaction was that what a dork is how would you allow it, how could you lose your license over driving a scooter? And yeah, and so I mean, a case like that in the US is just another Tuesday for us, so I couldn't believe that they were making such a big deal out of it. But at least we're close to being over. He has gone through enough. Yes. Again, was the BAC ever actually confirmed? So there is another article uh, where they said just now. Oh, maybe I can go there. The other article stated that his blood, the BAC is 0.227. But I do not believe this was actually released by the the police. I think they were just getting it off some information they found on the internet. After 3 hours in the police station, what more do they need from him? Hopefully, there is no more. I hope so. Um, so yeah, I mean, the prosecutor, the lawyer of the government, which is the prosecutor, already recommended for the court to issue a fine. So, and that is only done when the case is actually light. He should keep his license. Um, they define it as driving. Actually, even in the US, that's driving. It's just that it's never legislated, but they consider that driving. I mean, if you're drunk and you're driving a bike, that's drunk driving. How could he have stayed upright in his scooter with a BAC that high? Yeah, no, I don't believe that this is his BAC. I think they just got it off the internet as well, and I don't think the police actually confirmed the BAC level. Thank you for doing the. Oh, yours. Of course, you're welcome. The BAC was in some early stuff that was released, so who knows? Yeah, true. So that's why I don't believe the BAC. I don't think it's point zero, 0.227. How are you going to stand out? You can't. So it doesn't mention his license. He could end up keeping it. They could suspend it, maybe for a year or something. I hope they don't suspend it for that's. Ridiculous. I mean, even here, after going through a DUI, you can still recover your license. So, is it his driving license or his scooter's license he lost? His driving license. The scooter does not need a license, a plate number. It doesn't need a plate number. As the scooter wasn't considered a vehicle and did not require a plate, why would have, yeah, that's the technicality of the law, because if it is a vehicle, then it should require a plate. And they consulted, the police actually consulted the Department of Vehicle or something, and they said it doesn't need um, a plate number, so that means it's not a vehicle. So how can he, maybe it's, I don't understand why the police or prosecutor don't release the BAC. It's still so, because I don't think it's that high. I mean, in many countries, that's the law. In Poland, you can get a fine or lose your driver's license for drunk biking. Yeah, here in the US as well. Drunk biking is actually drunk driving. He wasn't even technically driving. He isn't. That's the argument that other lawyers are actually putting forward, because if the scooter does not require a plate number, then it's not a vehicle. But then a bike does not require, well, it actually technically requires a plate. So we haven't gotten a final report with the detail. I don't think they will release that. I think this is the extent of what they're going to release. Um, I don't think they'll disclose the fine. Where is that? Yeah, I don't think they'll disclose the fine. I think this is all that we're going to get. And quite honestly, I don't want them to disclose anything else. So because I just kind of want to just respect his privacy at this stage. He deserves. I mean, he's gone through everything already. Stop. Stop already. I never disagreed with the consequences, license or fine. He did something wrong and could have potentially hurt himself or others. The way they exaggerated and treated. Yeah, agree, agree. I mean, I'm fine if they wanna. I'm fine with the consequences, because even though he didn't know about it, is still, that's not an excuse. Not knowing the law is not an excuse. So I'm okay with the consequence, but that kind of a treatment is just overblown. It's like someone, I mean, they're protecting identities of rapists, of killers, and this guy drove a scooter and you're doing this to him, just unreasonable. Maybe high, well, maybe another apology, considering the culture. um what will happen to him now? He'll just get it, he'll be fined. He will be fined, unless, so the summary indictment, just to recap it for everybody who just joined, the summary indictment means the prosecutor, which is the lawyer of the government, recommends a fine to the judge, because the prosecutor can't impose a fine. That's not their job, and they don't have the power to do that. The law does not give them that power. Only the court or the judge can issue a fine. So the prosecutor only recommends the fine, and whatever it is that they want to recommend. And then it's the judge that will decide if they are going to fine him in or how much they're going to be fining, if they will agree with the recommendation of the prosecutor or ask him to give more money or whatever. It's around 1 a.m. I just wanted to do this because I know that a lot of people have been so, worried about this. We're all waiting for the result. They dragged this thing. So now that it's over, just like, can we all just move on already? I've seen people with pointed, yeah. Yes, I agree. Yeah. If that is the alcohol level, he won't be able to stand up. They have been so, are they using sugar to set a new rule? No, they've been trying to set a new rule and regulation in regards to scooters since January of this year. They are going to use sugar as an excuse, but they've been working on the law since January of this year. Tail hasn't even been apologized. I know, but we don't know what his case is. We don't even know. He just disappeared. Let it and move on. Yeah, I also want to move on. How soon do you think he will face the judge? I don't think he will. I mean, if the judge is reasonable, unless he just wants to take a picture of Suga, I don't think he will face it. Usually, judgment like this can be given to the lawyer, the representative of Suga, and if it's a fine, they can pay it on the spot. I'm sure. I mean, it's not going to be a problem. The fine won't be a problem. You can actually drive certain vehicles without license plate. Very much depends on how fast they can go. You appreciate, yeah. Well, I was just relieved that it's finally over. Arlene will not be in front of a judge. She will just get a fine, yeah. The fact that he's a celebrity is what makes it worse. Correct. No update regarding the first lady. No, apparently she appeared in lesser films. I don't know if that's true, but there is a photo of her in lesser FM's um, rehearsal studio. She visited. It's only been really interesting comparing US regulations and book. Correct. It's very, very interesting. Agree with the penalty, but they should also acknowledge that the law. Yes, I agree. Agree with you. Mhm. You're welcome, Mary Jane. It's all good. He can hire a driver. Yes. Or one of the six boys can drive him around. um, of course, I always try to be as reasonable. I'm also older than most of you, so I hope this issue doesn't drag on anymore. I hope so. Rebecca, hi. Thank you. One of five. Namjoon drives. Oh, yeah. He doesn't drive. Maybe he can get a driver's license just so he can drive Suga. I mean, Suga has driven for him many times. It is a relief. So I just hope that he gets the fine as soon as possible and we can all move on with our lives. Let's not get into Asia. No, it's just that often, like when there is a war on Twitter and people are like, why are you not responding? What am I going to fight over? Like, who's this? Probably a 16-year-old girl in her bedroom. I'm not going to fight that. Okay. Um, is kept under, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a struggle of mine. And I said this, if you're a member of my Patreon community, I actually said this. Um, I've actually decided not to talk about Dale because I still believe that people should be given the benefit of the doubt. They should still be treated innocent until proven guilty. And I was very loud about it when Suga's case came about. And so I felt like if I want that for Suga, then I should grant that to others too. So, but it's very heavy for me considering it looks bad on him. But then he disappeared, so we don't know. Yeah. So, Pink Crystal, yeah, I can breathe. Yes, I can breathe now as well. I just hope the judge issues the fine, and then that's it. We can all move on. Mean privately. Okay. And the other gets out of the military, his suspension will mostly be up anyway. True. Yes. Well, if they're all out of the military and doing activities, he doesn't need to drive because then he can just use a driver, right? Do you have any other question? Being drunk and on something and different. I would just like Yumi to know we're not disappointed. I think he knows. I have a feeling that he knows. Oh, you know what? We all owe El Capitan something. So I would just like to campaign for all of us when his album actually comes out. Let's try to share his album to as many people as possible, and also for us to listen to his album. Um, I think it's the best way to thank him for being the bridge to Shoga because he communicate. It seems that he's communicating a lot of what we say to Shoga. Today is El Capitan's birthday. Oh wow, I did not know. Okay, Yeah, I'll leave a message. Um, the Shiba. Yeah. So when his album comes out, because he said that his album is going to come out, let's just post links on our Twitter accounts or social media accounts, and then recommend it to as many people as possible. I think that's the best way to thank him, to show our appreciation for what he did for us. Right. Yeah. And I think, I mean, for sure, his six other brothers are there for him. So I'm sure guy's not alone. For sure, he's not alone. Let's stream together. Yes. Yes. From Koreans voting platforms. Is that true? They removed him on one. Um, I forget the name. I wasn't really understanding the whole issue, but it seems that they called it BTS, but without Suga. They did not show the photo of Suga. So a lot of armies on Twitter is like, delete their app, or and then, oh, you pick, yeah. So leave a bad review, delete your account, and then delete the app. That's what they're saying. Because it has to be. I mean, if you're going to call it seven, if you're going to call it BTS, it has to be seven, right? So okay. Is there anything else that you guys want to ask? His blood alcohol level was never confirmed. It was never confirmed. I think the 0.22 or something like that is just something that they pulled out from somewhere. There is absolutely no way in hell somebody can stand up if you drink that much. Company people updates the boys. I'm sure they're managers. I'm sure they're updating his brother. His brother is very supportive of him. They never had an official statement about it. Yes, they never had an official statement. Thank you, thank you. So let me know if you have any questions. If you, uh, I don't know, thank whatever it is, whatever your faith is, just thank what you believe in for this. At least we're very, very close to being over. And no, I don't want him to cancel Sutrita. No. Um, so why do articles keep putting point? Because it sells. They keep on putting 0.227 because it sells, even though it's not true. Correct. Yes, J Hope is will be home in a little over a month. It's time for us to prepare. Will this be saved? Yes, it will be saved. You can just watch again. So just a summary: the prosecutor recommended a fine, and he forwarded the recommendation to the judge. It's the judge that will make a final decision how much they will be fining him. So um, very, very close to the end. We can now move on after that. I wonder if the news reported on Billboard put fire on there. It wasn't confirmed. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining. I did not expect the people were going to join. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Bye. Yes, Arm's birthday on the 12th. El Capitan's birthday, so greet him. That's it. Bye bye.